The story of Saint John Paul II. Saint John Paul II, born Karol Józef Wojtyła on May 18, 1920, in Wadowice, Poland, would go on to become one of the most beloved and influential popes in the history of the Catholic Church. His life was a testament to perseverance, faith, and an unshakable love for Christ and humanity. John Paul II's papacy, which lasted for over 26 years, left an indelible mark on the world, shaping not only the Church but global events as well. Karol Wojtyła was born into a devout Catholic family. His father was a soldier and his mother a schoolteacher. Tragedy struck early in Karol's life. His mother died when he was just 8 years old, and his older brother, a doctor, passed away just a few years later. By the age of 21, Karol had lost all immediate family members, with his father dying in 1941. These losses deeply affected Karol, but they also strengthened his faith and devotion to God. As a young man, Karol was an avid student and athlete. He loved literature, particularly drama, and was active in Poland's theater community. However, when Nazi Germany invaded Poland in 1939, his life changed dramatically. Karol continued his studies in an underground seminary while working in a quarry and later at a chemical factory to avoid deportation by the Nazis. The brutality of war and the oppression of his homeland stirred in him a deep resolve to serve humanity and God through the Church. In 1946, Karol Wojtyła was ordained a priest and began his ministry in a country under communist rule. He quickly earned a reputation as a brilliant scholar, gifted preacher, and a compassionate pastor. He pursued his studies further and earned doctorates in theology and philosophy. Karol believed that, even under communist oppression, the Church could be a powerful force for good and a defender of human dignity. He was appointed auxiliary bishop of Krakow in 1958, at the young age of 38, and later became the Archbishop of Krakow in 1964. As a bishop, Wojtyła participated in the Second Vatican Council, contributing significantly to the Church's understanding of religious freedom and the role of the laity in the modern world. On October 16, 1978, Karol Wojtyła was elected the 264th Pope of the Catholic Church, taking the name John Paul II. He was the first non-Italian pope in over 450 years and the youngest pope in over a century. His election came at a time when the world was divided by the Cold War, and the Church was navigating the changes brought about by Vatican II. From the outset of his papacy, John Paul II's charisma, deep intellect, and unwavering faith made him a global figure. John Paul II's papacy was marked by his extraordinary energy and his commitment to bringing the message of the gospel to all corners of the world. He made 104 international trips, visiting more than 100 countries, and became the most traveled pope in history. His mission was clear: to spread the message of peace, human dignity, and the love of Christ. One of his most significant contributions was his role in the fall of communism in Eastern Europe. His outspoken support for human rights and freedom, combined with his deep connection to Poland, helped inspire movements such as Solidarity in Poland, which eventually contributed to the collapse of the Soviet Union and the liberation of Eastern Europe from communist rule. In 1981, John Paul II survived an assassination attempt in St. Peter's Square, shot at close range by a gunman. Miraculously, he survived and later forgave the man who had tried to kill him. John Paul II attributed his survival to the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and he became even more devoted to Our Lady, emphasizing her role in salvation history. Throughout his papacy, John Paul II was a staunch defender of life and traditional Catholic teaching. He spoke out against abortion, euthanasia, and the death penalty, emphasizing the sanctity of human life from conception to natural death. His encyclicals and teachings on the theology of the body have profoundly shaped the Church's understanding of human sexuality, marriage, and the dignity of the human person. He also fostered dialogue between religions, meeting with leaders of different faiths to promote peace and mutual understanding. His historic visit to a synagogue in Rome and his meeting with Jewish leaders was a significant step in healing the relationship between Catholics and Jews. He also reached out to Muslims and other Christian denominations, always emphasizing the need for unity and peace. As he aged, Pope John Paul II became a powerful example of the redemptive nature of suffering. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in the early 1990s, and his health began to decline. Despite his physical limitations, John Paul II continued to lead the Church with great strength and conviction. His public appearances, though marked by frailty, were a testament to his belief in the dignity of every human life, including those who are sick or disabled. In his final years, his suffering became a profound part of his ministry. Even as his voice weakened and his movements slowed, he continued to inspire millions with his courage and faith. He embodied the words he once spoke, "Do not be afraid." Pope John Paul II passed away on April 2, 2005, after a long and painful illness. His death was mourned by millions around the world. His funeral was one of the largest gatherings of world leaders in history, reflecting the immense impact he had on the world. In recognition of his holiness and his profound influence on the Church, John Paul II was beatified by Pope Benedict XVI in 2011 and canonized by Pope Francis in 2014. His feast day is celebrated on October 22, the anniversary of the day he officially began his papal ministry. St. John Paul II's legacy is immense and far-reaching. He is remembered as the Pope of the Youth, having established World Youth Day, which continues to inspire young Catholics worldwide. He is also known as the Marian Pope, for his deep devotion to the Virgin Mary, and as the Pope of the Family, for his teachings on the dignity of marriage and family life. His courage, intellect, and love for humanity have made him a saint for the modern world. His life is a testament to the transformative power of faith, the importance of human dignity, and the enduring presence of God's love, even in the darkest moments of history. St. John Paul II, pray for us.